All right, guys, episode 114 of the Daily BE. We are looking at a very interesting tie bar today, and specifically this one from a cool company called Sword Plough. And if the camera will focus, you can kind of see that this has been hammered and looks kind of brassy. That's because it is made out of brass. And I'll put this down for a second so I can stabilize my camera here, but this company I'll do a blog post on in a little while, and I'll try and link to it in the description below if I can. And by the way, guys, I'm not being paid in any way to kind of do an overview on this tie bar. It's just something that I honestly think is pretty cool and unique. And so kind of want to give you an overview of this specific tie bar and how you might want to wear it with different ties, obviously. The reason I like it is that compared to a handful of other ones on the market, and of course this is a different closure device. This is more the alligator clip style, and this is a slide. So you just slide it through the tie. So, but at first glance, you can kind of tell that even though this one has some cool etching on it, there's just a lot of character in this particular tie bar. And the reason being is that this is actually repurposed 50 caliber brass ammunition casing that's been upcycled or reworked into a tie bar. And that's what this company, Sword Plough, is doing. Is primarily they're repurposing a lot of military surplus, whether it's ammunition or fabrics and material that you can make bags, different things. So they're doing some really cool stuff. But with this specific piece of tie bar, you're getting just a really interesting texture to it. And so compared to everything else out there, it just doesn't seem, well, it seems like it's way, way more interesting. So with something like this, let's kind of get real practical here and talk about some different ties. Here's my opinion on how you would want to wear a tie bar like this. Because you have a real textured look to it, it's going to be something that I think would pair really, really well with an equally textured necktie. So, for instance, this one is predominantly wool, a little bit of silk in it to give it some softness. But really, this is kind of a rougher tie that goes great with things like jeans and kind of a business casual and dress down below that. So this sort of tie bar, and again, anything that you pair with this, because it's gold, is going to really draw the eye. It's going to be pretty eye-catching. So it is a little bit of a style statement all on its own. But I really like the texture that relates between the tie bar and the necktie. Similar story, just different color and different pattern with this purple tie, and this is also heavy on the wool. And you just get a real cohesive look, I think, between the two textures, in the metallic and then the natural. Now, compare that to, say, a more businessy look, and it's entirely possible that you could certainly pair these two and wear it, but I think that because of how kind of textured and kind of dressed down in some ways this looks, I wouldn't do it with a real stripey kind of quintessential business tie like this one. And that's kind of my own personal opinion. Your style is your style, but I think with this specific tie bar, you have a really fun opportunity, very unique, to kind of play on some different textures and more specifically kind of refer one to the other. So I'm not a big fan of the contrast in this tie bar in a very, very 100% silk necktie like this. Now, that's not to say that you couldn't dress up a little bit. Here's another necktie that is wool, or excuse me, this is 100% silk. But I'll try and get a better angle because it's not that dark in real life. But in any case, this is a very dressy, kind of bird's eye almost, 100% silk tie. And again, you can see that because you get that really strong brass color against this really dark tie, it definitely pops. So pretty cool look right here. Now, one more thing I wanted to highlight. Here is another very casual tie. Casual because it's a square bottom. This is perfect for your pair of jeans and you're just kind of dressing relatively casual. So the texture is definitely there. This is a knit tie, so you get a little bit more texture to it than a really slick kind of silk tie. However, I wouldn't pair it with this because, not so much of the material, but because of the pattern. I just think it's too stripey. See what I mean? It's just going to be too many stripes. I kind of like having a little bit of contrast. I like having a little bit of an offset kind of plaid like this is pretty cool. And then of course, we mentioned the real basic but almost elegant looking purple tie. So takeaways, and again, my opinion, but with something like this, which has a really, really interesting conversation piece sort of texture to it, I would refer back to a similar interesting texture in the necktie that you're wearing. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. This is very unique, very different. So the question to you guys is, what would you wear with this? How would you go about kind of matching or building a wardrobe around a very unique hammered, repurposed brass shell casing sort of neck tie bar? So again, that company is Sword Plough. I haven't found anything else like this out there, and that's another reason that we're doing this video, because I think it's just really unique. There you have it. Let me know what you guys think, and we will keep an eye out for that blog post. I'll talk all about the company. They have some other interesting products and just a very unique business model, in my opinion. All right, hope that helped. And by the way, let me know if you guys want to see more on tie bars specifically and or cufflinks, and I can try and do some more videos on those topics. All right, thanks for your attention. We appreciate it so much. We'll be back with another video for another day.